Hello again, everyone, and welcome. This is the preview of the Green Bay Packers Dallas Cowboys NFC Divisional playoff game, at least an early week preview. It's only Tuesday. The Packers are off today. They'll resume workouts on Wednesday, and at that time they will visit with the team doctors to determine just exactly how they're going to handle Aaron Rodgers' practice week. He's not expected to practice on Wednesday and probably not until the earliest on Thursday. That could be a concern for some. The Packers are trying to play coy and pretend like Aaron Rodgers has been able to play without practicing much in the past, and he's performed well, and that he has. So the Packers are thinking that whatever he can give them during the practice week is going to be a bonus at this point in time. Of course, he's coming off of back-to-back games in which he tweaked his calf. The second of which they weren't even sure he was going to come back and play. But not only did he come back and play, but he performed admirably. This game kind of being billed as Ice Bowl 2, although the conditions in this Sunday's divisional playoff game will be nothing close to what the actual Ice Bowl was back in 1967 when the temperature hit 13 degrees below zero to start at kickoff, and the wind chills recorded as high as or as low as 48 degrees below zero. So that was back in 1967. This Sunday's forecast calling for temperatures to be right around 15 degrees. Of course, wind chills will probably be around zero or perhaps a little colder. So it's still going to be cold. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, playing in the South, so they just don't see these kinds of temperatures. The Packers are hopefully banking on the fact that the Cowboys might not be ready for this kind of weather. The coldest temperatures they've played in this season, 34 degrees in Chicago. The Cowboys not only beat the weather, but they beat the Chicago Bears on that day as well. Now, there's a lot of other variables at stake here, or at least to talk about, that are interesting matchups. First of all, and to start with, is the fact that the Packers are 8-0 at home and the Cowboys are 8-0 on the road this season. Dallas comes into the game having won 9 straight road games dating back to last season. So that's an important factor because Lambeau Field has been a difficult place for teams to play at, but the Cowboys don't seem to be intimidated by any road atmosphere, including Seattle, when they fell behind and came back and were able to beat the Seahawks earlier this season. So the Cowboys have that going for them. And one of the reasons why they play so well on the road, because they can run the football. They have DeMarco Murray, the NFL's leading rusher, at better than 1,800 yards a carry. The Packers improved defense going back to the bye week. They got much better against the run, much better overall, and primarily because they made some personnel changes. They improved their look in the middle, including moving Clay Matthews from the outside to the inside in a number of scenarios, and that has helped solidify the Packers' run defense. But they will be tested like they haven't been tested before the season against the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, which has 3 Pro Bowlers on it, along with DeMarco Murray, who is the best in the business at this point in time. Packers, on the flip side, they're certainly going to want to run the football as well. Eddie Lacy, remember last year he had that ankle injury that he was playing through into the playoffs? Well, he's healthy, as healthy as he's probably ever going to be. The Packers did a great job of managing his touches, and he should be a factor for Green Bay. So that's an interesting matchup. They don't face one another directly, but both teams have running games to be able to count on, and expect with the cold weather on Sunday that both of them will certainly give it a go. The Cowboys didn't tackle very well in their win over the Detroit Lions. Eddie Lacy has been able to break a lot of tackles, so we'll see if the Cowboys are any better there on Sunday, or if Lacy continues to give them troubles. Tony Romo, you look at the stats and you followed the game, and if you didn't look at the stats, you'd think, well, Aaron Rodgers, being the quarterback that he is, with his high completion percentages, his low interceptions, his high touchdown total, that he would be a higher rated passer than Tony Romo. But Romo actually has Rodgers by a point in both passer rating and a little less than a point in the actual quarterback rating. So that's a matchup too. For Romo to be successful, in my opinion, Dallas has to be able to run the football. Romo is a play action quarterback. He's not a guy that's going to be able to run away from trouble. He needs a pocket to be able to step up into. If the Packers shut down the run, they'll be able to jam the line of scrimmage, get pressure on Romo, and Romo's just not a guy that performs well when there's a lot of pressure. So that will be a key factor for the Packers. Can they stop the run and then subsequently get pressure on Tony Romo. Des Bryant is the leading receiver. In fact, he leads the NFL in touchdowns with 16 touchdown receptions this season for the Dallas Cowboys. He in last year's game against Dallas, Des Bryant had 11 catches for 153 yards. So he had his day against the Packers a year ago. We'll see what kind of day he has this afternoon. And the last point of emphasis, in my opinion, for the Packers is their special teams. It continues to kill them. They had a blocked field goal against the Detroit Lions, or at least the Lions blocked a Packers field goal. 7 blocked kicks of some variety, extra points, field goals, and punts this season. The Packers continue to have that be a struggle, and Mike McCarthy, Sean Slocum, the special teams coach, both feel that they have corrected the issues. We'll see. They can't afford another one of those setbacks in a game like this. The Packers playing for a right to play in the NFC Championship game. Likely going through Seattle, but Seattle, they will play host to Carolina. If Carolina would pull that upset and the Packers win, they would host the NFC Championship game. We'll have more to come throughout the week as the practice week develops, but it's Packers and Cowboys on Sunday at 12 noon kickoff at Lambeau Field.